It's Essie here with another process video for Lottie Loves Paper, and I'm using the Spring Vibes kit that was available sort of end of March, end of February, beginning of March time. I'm starting off by applying a panel of clear gesso across the centre of my page. I'm not worrying about the top and bottom because I'm only going to be working on that middle section. I'm using a silicone brush just to apply that gesso across that panel. Putting that aside to dry, and I'm going to take the paper from the Spring Vibes kit. This is Pretty Little Studio Bohemian Dreams, and I've already started cutting some circles. As you can see, the flowers have got circles in the centre, and there are some other circles across the paper. So I'm just using my Creative Memories cutting tool, which I've had forever. I think it was one of the first tools I bought when I started scrapbooking, and it still comes in handy to cut different size circles, especially if you want to sort of layer circles. So using that to cut from this patterned paper. I've seen some beautiful layouts on the Lottie Loves Paper Facebook page using that paper and fussy cutting the flowers, so I thought I'd try and do something a bit different and just use the circles. Now my gesso's dry, I'm just going to mark where my photograph's going to sit on the background, and I'm using my watercolours to create some swirly circles on the background. I'm not worried about them being too perfect. The circles on the background paper, as you can see, they're fairly random and they're not perfect circles at all. So I'm just using a mix of colours to coordinate with the paper, but a bit softer. I'm using sort of soft, obviously, because it's watercolours, the colours can be quite soft, just to tone down the brightness of the colours in the patterned paper. So when I lay them across the top, it won't be all quite so bright and full on in your face. I have to say, I love that paper, but it's a bit scary. But using bits of it like that, I feel a bit safer. And just filling in those circles with different colours, adding some touches of coordinating colour to blend and swirl around a little. Now I've finished that last one. Just going to pop that aside to dry. And I'm going to add some layers behind my photograph. I've got some scraps of patterned paper left from the kit. I have got one full sheet left, that green there you can see, which is from Pink Fresh Studio Joyful Day, but I'm going to set that aside so I keep it a whole piece, as it's the only 12 by 12 I've got left uncut yet. So I went for that pink and the teal wood grain, and as you can see, I've cut those and layered those behind my photograph. And now I'm going to add some stamping onto the watercolour circles now that they are dry. I'm using an archival ink in watering can, and I've got some stamps from, I'm really sorry, but I can't remember where they're from. I've got lots of sets of stamps that I've sort of taken out of the packaging to store more easily, and I didn't do anything sensible like write the manufacturer on anywhere. But I've just added those stamp circles across the back of the across the background, and I'm now adding my photograph in using some foam sheet to layer it up, add a little bit of dimension. And now I'm going to come in with those cut circles. I'm going to add some flat, and I'm going to put some foam on some of them to add some difference in dimension amongst the circles. Layering them in between the watercoloured circles even and the stamped. Trying to kind of balance the colours as well, get a bit of an even spread of the pinks and the yellows. Just deciding which other one to go on the edge there. And I've trimmed that pink one off from one side, and I'm going to stick the other the other bit on, coming onto the page the other side. I like having bits that go, parts of the design that go off the edge of the page. I think it helps it flow. So now I'm going to put my title. These are puffy stickers from Pink Fresh Studios, again the Joyful Day range, and I've chosen these two in the 2 shades of green to say create memories, and I'm just going to fit that one in there around those circles, and then the memories across the bottom of my photograph. I love these puffy stickers. They're such beautiful, soft, they're sort of almost chalky colours in pastels, and they're just lovely. In fact, I love them so much I've ordered some more. But just popping the memories across the bottom under my photograph and the little dot above the eye. Okay, now I want to use these phrases from Pretty Little Studios, Bohemian Dreams even, and they're just on a card section for you to cut apart yourselves. And I'm going to also add some of those little white stickers, which are also Pretty Little Studios, amongst them as well. So I think I want 3 of the larger phrases, and I want to use this one. It says Dare to Dream, but the phrase is too long, so tucking it in under the photograph you lose half of the word. So I choose the yellow one, which has got a slightly shorter phrase on, and so it means I can tuck it in without losing any of it. Just sticking those down and tucking them in amongst the circles, trying to keep things connected so the page is cohesive. Adding in those white stickers there with those little phrases on. Going to add one to each of the larger coloured phrase pieces, and then I'm also going to add a few dotted on their own as well. There's lots of lovely phrases on this sheet. There's actually some quite different ones. I've gone for things like fun-loving, good vibes, shine bright, stay groovy, I think one of those says. And this is my other half and my nephew on the dance floor at the end of the night at my niece's wedding. Everybody's up. It's the last couple of tracks, the ones they play that gets everybody up and singing, and they're just having a good old time. And I love this photograph. And my finishing touch is these enamel shapes from Chamel's Box of Crayons range. These weren't in the Spring Vibes kit. They're from my stash, but the colours just matched so perfectly. I wanted to add those in, just adding a little detail to some of the word phrases that are dotted around the page. I move them around several times. I kind of take them off, put them back again, swap the colours and shapes around so that I get a balance of colours and shapes that I'm happy with. Once I finish placing my enamel dots, that's my page finished. I really hope you've enjoyed watching my process video, and I hope to see you here again soon. Bye!